What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, got some breaking news though. I guess it's a day late, maybe $1 short, but it's going to be a really good one because we got some news that you all need to know, and that is that Erica Wheeler has signed with the Seattle Storm. But before you start envisioning Erica Wheeler in a Seattle Storm uniform, let's break it down because the move isn't necessarily what it seems. Because there is a major detail that seems to get left out when some people are talking about this, and it is that this contract that Erica Wheeler has is a training camp contract, which means that there is no guarantee that Erica Wheeler will actually make the roster. So, what does this mean for the Seattle Storm? What does this mean for Erica Wheeler? Well, let's get into it in this video. All right, first let's dive into Erica Wheeler herself. Now, Erica Wheeler, if you all don't know her journey, it is one of the best stories in WNBA. She went from a undrafted player out of Rutgers into a player who was making bank. Okay, because coming out of college, being undrafted, most players in that situation never end up making it in the league, right? It's not a thing. But Erica Wheeler refused to give up her WNBA dream. She got her first shot in the WNBA in 2025 when she was able to try out for the Atlanta Dream. She was so good that she earned herself a roster spot that year and played a few games with the Dream that season before getting cut from the roster. That same year, after leaving the Atlanta Dream, she moved over to the New York Liberty, where she played a couple games with them as well. So 2 teams in 2015, and then in 2016, she found her new home in Indiana. And she stayed there for 4 seasons. And for 4 seasons in Indiana, Erica Wheeler established herself as a really good guard, both on and off the bench. She was quick, she was shifty, she was a playmaker, she could score, she can create for others. She could kind of do a little bit of everything. And she brought a spark whenever she was on the court. And also, she was a really good locker room fit as well. And Erica's performance in Indiana, where she would ultimately average 9.5 points and 4 assists during that first 4-year stretch with the Fever, guys, her efforts did not go unnoticed because in 2019, Erica Wheeler was voted as a WNBA All-Star. And for the All-Star game, y'all, Erica Wheeler balled out. Like, I remember actually watching this game, and I was like, go ahead, Erica. Seriously. Erica Wheeler played that All-Star game like it was a WNBA championship game. That's what, like, she was focused. And giving it all she had, guys. She was red hot from 3, dropping 3 after 3 after 3. I believe she ended up dropping 6 3-pointers in that game itself. She ultimately finished with 25 points in that game, 7 assists to help lead Team A'ja Wilson with the win over Team Atlanta Deladon. The final score of that game was Team Wilson 129, Team Deladon 126. In that game, Erica Wheeler not only balled out, but she made history as the first ever undrafted player to win the WNBA All-Star Game MVP. And guys, this is a moment that cemented her as one of the league's most inspiring stories. And she also had an awesome message after she won. Check it out.
You go from undrafted in this league, all that you've overcome to even be standing in this moment. How have you persevered?
Just never give up, man. Just never give up. No matter what nobody tell you, just keep moving. And I use my mom as my motivation. I lost her when I was in college to cancer, so I just keep moving because I know she's watching me more than ever. So this one right here for you, Mom.
I'm real humble, but I'm not gonna be humble in this moment right here. My confidence was through the roof because I had a chip on my shoulder. I knew I was the only undrafted player. I don't have a shoe contract. I don't have no contracts besides the WNBA. So for me, it was to make my mark, and I think I did that because nobody's looking at me. I'm a no-name. So I think I left today with a name that everybody can remember. So, my confidence is through the roof. I don't know how high this roof is, but it's past this roof. My main goal today, and I told Candace Dupree that I don't know how I'm going to be unforgettable, but I want to be unforgettable once we play this game, and I think I did that. What you guys say? So I think I did that, and my main thing is just to be able to inspire the youth to never give up. And I think I'm a walking never give up word. You know, if you go in a dictionary and they say never give up, I think you should put Erica Wheeler because of, the path I went, so that's all I have to say.
And guys, she used that performance at WNBA All-Star in 2019 to proceed to get the bag for years to come. In 2020, due to COVID, she decided to opt out for the season. But in 2021, Erica Wheeler signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Sparks and became the third highest paid player on the team when she signed, where she put up some of her career best numbers, right? She averaged 13.6 points a game, 4.8 assists per game, proving that she could be a high caliber starting guard in the W, right? She played alongside Nneka Ogwumike, who, by the way, is now her new teammate again in Seattle. And even though the Sparks struggled throughout that season, like Erica Wheeler did provide a bright spot. She was aggressive. She was confident. She showed that she could help to lead that offense. But after 1 year, because she was on a one-year deal, she decided to move on. And she decided to join the Atlanta Dream, where she signed another one-year deal. And once again, made bank as the third highest paid player on that team. But her real payday, Erica Wheeler's real payday, came in 2023 when Erica made her triumphant return to the Indiana Fever. I remember this rollout, right? Erica ended up arriving to Indiana, and the Fever put out all the stops and welcoming her back. And it was like she basically got the hero's welcome in 2023 as she made her triumphant return to the Fever. And the Fever proceeded to give her the bag. How much of the bag? In 2023, Erica Wheeler was the highest paid salaried player in the WNBA. The highest paid over everybody else. That's over MVPs. That's over, some of the top scorers in the league. The highest paid in 2023 for Erica Wheeler. I told y'all this lady was getting the bag. She was getting the bag. By the time, she stepped foot there, it was like, hey, we're giving everything we got to Erica Wheeler because she was the hero who won the All-Star MVP, left us, and now she has returned. So again, highest paid salary player in 2023. And by this time, Erica Wheeler was a very, very respected veteran and a leader in the locker room. And as time went on, the Fever started to build, right? In 2023, they got Aaliyah Boston. 2024, we all know that they got Caitlin Clark, and that really did change Erica Wheeler's role for the team. Because when Caitlin Clark was drafted, Erica Wheeler was pushed further down on the depth chart. Last season, she played fewer minutes than she'd played in the last 7 years of her being a pro. And as a result, she only averaged 3.6 points a game, 1.8 assists per game. And when the Fever decided to rightfully return to the Indiana Fever as a core player, and the Fever decided to add in Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson to their team, it became clear that Erica Wheeler was not in their plans anymore. And just like that, she was on the move again, which leads us to today's, or I guess yesterday's, news. Now, let's kind of get into what's really going on and with the Seattle Storm signing. So Erica Wheeler broke the news herself on her podcast, and a key detail in this is that the thing to note is that Erica Wheeler signed a training camp contract, which, if you know anything about training camp contracts, is not guaranteed. The contract is not even on the salary cap books until the player actually makes the roster, right? So that's why right now, technically, the Indiana Fever have 10 players on the roster via the salary cap, when in reality it's actually 11 because Jaylen Brown is a training camp contract. So right now it doesn't count against the team unless she makes the roster. Same exact thing for the Seattle Storm. Right now, Erica Wheeler is a training camp roster player. So her salary, if she actually makes the team, is going to be around $78K. But it's not guaranteed because she's a training camp contract player. So we'll see. She gets an opportunity to compete for a roster spot, but no guaranteed place on the team. So why exactly does this matter? Well, this matters because the Seattle Storm is in a very interesting position, which I think is why they just only offered her a training camp contract. So Seattle has been making some moves, right? They made some big moves last offseason. They're making some big moves this offseason. We all know they traded Jewell Loyd to the Las Vegas Aces, but they still have stars like Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka Ogwumike, Gabby Williams, who just signed her core contract. They do need more depth at the guard position, especially after Nico Muell's injury. And Erica Wheeler does bring that experience, that leadership, and playmaking ability. But again, there is no guarantee she makes the final roster because the Seattle Storm have the number two overall draft pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, right? They could very well end up taking a young guard, possibly Olivia Miles, to help develop them under Skylar Diggins-Smith. And Seattle also has added other bench players to their roster as well. You got Alicia Clark, who just returned back. You got Leah Rue that you picked up on that trade. But terrible blow for the Seattle Storm is that Jordan Horston is now out for the season due to injury. Though video coming about what specifically happened to Jordan coming up on the channel soon. So anyway, what we can expect, guys, is a lot more training camp contracts that the Seattle Storm will extend. When it comes down to it, I don't believe, speculation, but I don't believe that Erica Wheeler will be the only training camp contract. I think we'll see a couple more signings for the Seattle Storm, and basically Noelle Quinn will be like, you know what? All right, training camp comes, y'all fight it out. Who's the best players? Who's going to make the team? Who is going to actually make the roster, right? It's going to be a very, very, very competitive training camp. And guys, let's not forget the WNBA rosters are only 12 deep. 11 deep in some cases, and making a team is tough. So what's next? Well, Erica Wheeler will have a fight on her hands for a final roster spot on the Seattle Storm. If she impresses the coaching staff, she could earn a spot as the veteran backup guard for the Seattle Storm. If Seattle decides to go in a younger direction, we could see Erica cut before the season even starts. For Fever fans, this is the official end of the second Erica Wheeler era. She will not be back in Indiana with a Fever jersey on, but she still is proven that undrafted players can carve out long, successful careers in the WNBA. Like, it's amazing how inspiring Erica Wheeler is and what she has been able to do in her career, again, as a undrafted Rutgers player. And even though nothing is guaranteed, guys, let's be honest, Erica Wheeler has beaten the odds once before, from undrafted to All-Star MVP. She's built a career by proving people wrong. Can she do it again in Seattle and make the final roster? Well, ultimately, we will see soon. Guys, what do y'all think about Erica Wheeler? Do y'all think she ultimately will make the roster for the Seattle Storm for 2025, or is Seattle going to go in another direction? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all WNBA news and college basketball and anything else related to women's ball. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.